This NFL Props Week 6 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code SGPN.
Hey, this is Bill Romanowski. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Hello, Sean.
Hello. Indeed, we are here talking all things National Football League props with the prop master himself, the laddie daddy, rockin' red October, the bet detective from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, Mr. CJ Sullivan. What's happening, CJ?
Hey guys, good to hear from you. Glad you can bring me into the show. Love being here every week. So my supplements and vitamins.
We were listening to the intro of Bill Romanowski saying, "Hey, this is Bill Romanowski." It kind of sounds like my Sean McVay, but he sounds like a little bit. He sounds like if you just talk to that guy on the phone, you're like, "Oh, I could kick this guy's ass. Wouldn't even be a problem." And then Bill Romanowski shows up, you would be in for a rude awakening.
I feel like there's a lot of people. I mean, you could probably say the same thing if you heard Jordan Mailata singing a song in an alleyway.
He's a
who's this pussy?
Very
you turn a corner, you get a 6'8".
Hey, mate. He's got the Australian accent.
Is he Australian or from New Zealand?
Pretty. I thought he was Australian.
I always assume the toughest of the rugby players come from New Zealand.
Bankstown, Australia.
Okay. Right. My apologies. So he's not all the way tough. He could be tougher.
That was see how I walked into that, CJ. Even Jordan Mailata not tough enough for Ryan.
Oh, I like Jordan Mailata.
Oh, he's a great player.
Anyone who can make the rugby to football transition.
He had never. I mean, that story probably doesn't get talked about enough. He had literally never played American football, and then gets drafted by the Eagles and is now a franchise left tackle. That is kind of an insane transition to go from never play. It's not like, it's just kind of wild.
This is why when you're drafting a left tackle, you bet on athleticism. Cause I mean, he played a position in rugby where he was a big guy. Like if you ever watched a rugby game, the guys who get lifted up, he was one of the guys that got lifted up. Those guys are also ball carriers. So it's like if you're athletic enough to do that and you have the size, it does make sense. Also, Eagles have a good offensive line development program. Probably helped a little bit.
He went to graduated Jeff Salin University, which I'm sure was a huge reason. And he had guys like Lane Johnson.
What kind of hobbies do you think Stoutland has that Big Dom helps facilitate, keep him happy?
I don't know. I mean, he's got a contract for life. Jeff Stoutland.
You don't hear about the guys enjoying the massage parlor in the Philly area, like the Baltimore Ravens. Big Dom keeps that buttoned up.
Big Dom takes care of all the problems, right, CJ?
He Big Dom does. I laugh because I know a funny massage parlor Philly story.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is probably the right place to well, I did get that one DM where someone told me it was offensive that why would we think that someone's going to listen to a 90-minute show talking about football where we use poor language and distasteful jokes?
Oh, well, then I will tell a story then.
Please. Yeah. That guy's not listening anymore.
Massage parlor was getting busted in Center City, Philly. Oh, no. My buddy's dad worked at the hospital down there, and while it was happening outside, it was like a live bust, and like, let's all go down there. And my buddy's dad, he's quite a character. Obviously, he's a widow, and he's talking trash. Like, yeah, get it, put him away, As he's doing it, and as he's putting the one lady in, she looks up, she's like, Jim. Tim, where have you been? I haven't seen you so long. The guy's like, what? And his son's right around him. Like, no, get out of here. As he's like heckling her, she heckles
That's
back.
a nightmare scenario.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
there.
Well, that guy's flying too close to the sun.
Yeah,
I mean when they
he didn't care. Obviously. If you know this guy,
I
he didn't care.
assume.
But it was just funny.
I assume that's part of the like gambling. We have the sweat, good or bad.
Yeah.
I assume part of the mystique of going to one of those massage parlors is the sweat of at any given time cops could kick in the door and you're hanging out with your dick out in trouble.
Yeah, it's like going number 2 in a dive bar bathroom or something like that.
Yeah.
Someone's trying to do some coke. Hey, let me in there. Let me in there.
Same but different.
Right.
Same but different.
It's the thrill. You can get busted in on.
The thrill before the finish is electric.
All right.
Our buddy Nick, who's a funny comic guy, writer on a bunch of shows, and he could stand up, Nick Rutherford, and he had a bit in his act where he goes, "This is just a message to everyone: when you encounter a locked public restroom, it is not a test of a feat of strength.
No,
Someone's in there. You don't need to keep trying to break it in. It was not accidentally locked." There was this Mexican place, El Compadre in Hollywood. Great Mexican place.
There still is a great Mexican place, El Compadre.
it's still there. Yeah.
Fantastic
Classic
place.
red booth leather.
Mariachi band.
Great margaritas. Great place if you're ever. There's a couple locations. Now I would when I was working a day job, I went to the one. Like right there in Hollywood,
Across from Guitar Center.
Yeah, right across from Guitar
Look at
Center.
CJ filling in the colors.
Great.
I live by there.
Yeah, I mean, you get a good chimichanga there.
Yes.
And I was going in the bathroom using the stall. It was one of those.
That's bold.
It was one of those
Mexican
knocked on the guy knocked on the stall. I go, "Yes, I'm in here." 30 seconds later, like a mechanic creeper on his back, just a homeless guy slides underneath. He looks up to me, makes eye contact with me. I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize someone was in here." "What do you mean?" Slides back out.
It sounds like
I finished going to the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Guy was nowhere to be found. I tried to explain to my buddy. He's probably thinks everyone thinks you're crazy, but if you've been in Hollywood, the story.
I was gonna say you've either encountered a LA homeless person or you haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he broke up a date. I think there was a meetup supposed to happen in that bathroom.
Yeah, there was like, "Hey, the door will be locked. Knock on it and then slide underneath."
Here's the mechanic tray with wheels. He sliding underneath.
It was just like
checking under the hood.
Oh man,
there is something about an LA homeless person's ability to stick their head in a place and give you a look where you're like, "Oh." When I lived in West Hollywood, I was just minding we had laundry in the back, right? Little 6 parking spots.
Yeah.
And a washer and a dryer. It wasn't like a laundry room. I'm sitting back there just moving from one to the other and get one of those like Kramer style entrances. Oh, hey, my bad. What the fuck were you doing? What are you looking for back here, sir?
Oh man.
But yeah, I think people that have never lived in Los Angeles, and now we're gonna get a bunch of messages like, "Yeah, idiots, why are you living in Los?" I'm just it builds awareness. It builds your streets. In New York, it's different, right? In New York, everything was fear right in your face.
Yeah, it's too aggressive.
These guys are more like it's somewhere between like the Dave Chappelle representation of a crackhead and like a city rat. You know?
Yeah. Well, they're a little squirrelier.
Yeah, exactly.
And less hardened, I would say, than the New York.
Well, because they're hanging out by the beach in LA and they're just looking for food.
They're fried out. Yeah, they're fried out in New York. They're out there in the winter for 6 months for crying out loud, living on the street.
Yeah, death doesn't happen in LA. That's other cities handle that.
Cold weather has hardened the East Coast homeless. All right, that's why people are here. The East Coast versus West Coast homeless breakdown.
Yeah.
We're here talking props. Shout out to Tej saying he's sitting here. He's got his beer stein. These things are awesome.
Yes.
Waiting for some Degen parlays. Told the guys the price of my Degen parlay 5,000 to 1.
Yep. I canceled mine because Sean's too good.
Well, I started out at 35 to 1, and then I knew that's not a Degen parlay, and then I started amping it up. So we got that to look forward to. We got props to pick.
Yep, and we also have an update for our prop offering segment there.
We should start with that.
Well, should we start with that?
I think we don't have to make the decision, but we should at least start with the journey that
so I have an
I don't know
idea
if we
for
fully have talked about it.
Yeah, we have not. Absolutely not.
So CJ, take it away from your perspective.
Where it all began? Well, it all began a couple weeks ago. Well, actually on the VSiN show Friday nights, tune in 7 o'clock Pacific to see these two every Friday. live from Circuit Casino.
Yes, sir.
I came on. I do my segment. I give out my ladder segment, which is a smash hit, and then we give out a pleaser segment.
Yes.
And the one I gave out was a Trey Tucker hit for 33-1, and then I come back the following week on this show right here every Thursday. Someone in chat goes, "Whoever gave out the Trey Tucker prop, congrats, thank you so much because I made so much money." And Sean mistakenly gave it to Ryan. Ryan, of course,
just quietly accepted.
Oh, I didn't want to step on
stolen
Sean.
ladder valor.
I mean, and then I was right in the middle of it all, so
Right in the middle.
wondering how long is this going to go on for before someone shapes up. I didn't want to yell immediately. Anyway, it got another segment, a video clip of it came out. It dragged on. By
There's
God,
nothing better when CJ brings his own clips to the VC
Yes.
show. That's always
It is fun.
Yeah, I like to
I
bring my own
appreciate it
stuff
preparing
there.
for segments.
Yeah, with the producers. And speaking of which, I should even last week I was done dirty by both of you and my ex-wife as a photograph of me was tossed around for my birthday, and then I realized she messaged you. I guess apparently she also messaged Visa and is anyone who would take her hands on it, and I just got a message of you go, but this is great. I got Sean's voice. I can hear Sean saying this is great.
Sean's great at backdooring into the wife to get embarrassing photos.
I opened up the Instagram as our social media advisor, and I saw this great photo of CJ, and the world needed to see it.
Yeah.
It was an amazing outfit.
I'm not afraid of the photo, but anyway, the point is just it's the dealings behind the scenes
Yes.
that I was worried.
I don't know exactly. Well, that's what I'm trying to give you a warning.
Yeah,
on for
I'm
next
not
time.
worried about the photograph.
Guy's a
itself.
deal maker.
Yeah, anyway, so fast forward. I'm not sure if it was guilt or whatever, but Ryan, as a peace offering, or I like to call it a prop offering, gave a free roll to me of Jordan Love to reach 300 yards versus the Dallas Cowboys on that famous 40-40 tie game. Easily hit in overtime.
Easily hit, needed overtime.
For 100 to hit
he
plus
should have.
450. He
It shouldn't have even sweated.
Right, absolutely not. So it was a great ticket. So now that ticket's worth over $5, something like that. And in spirit of the $20 to 20 million,
Which I still can't believe that. Normally, when you see a great prop on the sheet at Circa, it's already moved.
Right. You couldn't believe it when it went to the window.
That's 470.
That's why you wanted to give out gifts to everyone if you could have, because you took a couple for yourself. Like, why not? While we're here for this
Sean
number.
got one.
Yeah,
You got
this number
one.
is so great. But now the $20 to 20 million, of course, is where I started off. We started off with a $20 ticket and I went to 500, similar to this. And then we said, Ryan, who was the mule, would you like me to cash for it? No, you make that another ticket. Just keep pushing. I don't want to touch it. Keep pushing it.
And for the record, I did fully keep it separate and roll it over.
Yeah, kept separate piles of everything, even from the wife. Everything will know. So, last week we're like, well, let's make this 550 or whatever it was. Let's shove that because he goes, should we chop it up? No, I don't want a voucher. We want to give you a ticket, make another ticket. We hit David Montgomery over rushing 54.5 yards.
Easy catch.
Another
I
easy
put all
bank.
my money on that.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't do 2 touchdowns because the motherfucker threw for one touchdown.
he threw
Oh
one.
man, that would have been bad.
That would have been brutal.
But they didn't. I don't even think they had the TDs up at Circus, so
No.
Right.
it made obvious sense to pivot to the rushing.
Yeah, Circa isn't elaborate with their props. That's for sure. They're a meat and potato
Simple.
sports
Meat and
book,
potatoes,
you know, 100%. And maybe for Sunday nights they'll get
It's
a
like
little
the
more
Italian
exotic.
market down the street.
Yeah,
You get what you get.
yeah, you get what
Those
you
are the
get.
choices.
Whatever's
You know
whatever's on the menu, they do it right.
Right.
I still remember we went to this Italian place in Burbank, Cheech's, and Cheech was working. And my buddy goes, how's the chicken parm here? Is it good? And the guy was just like, if it wasn't good, it wouldn't be on the fucking menu. And it was awesome.
That's amazing.
Shout out
Missed
to our
that
buddy
place.
Sully.
Yeah.
It was a great chicken parm.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
and an all-time Sully move. Also.
Yeah, it was great.
Sure.
Asking if his chicken
So
parm was good.
right in front of him is the best.
Cheech worked by himself too. He's in there making the
It's
pizzas.
it's almost like if you went up and asked the guy if his wife was a whore, and the wife was right there. Like he was so mad.
Oh man, those
man.
sandwiches were delicious. There was like a pizza crust bread. It was unreal. Anyway,
It's all right. So that Montgomery ticket turns into what is it, around 1,100 or something like that?
what's the pile?
Similar.
it was 570. And it was a minus 110 bet. So we probably have somewhere right around.
Yeah, right around there.
1100.
And I decided, let's run this up as much as we can, 50-50. We'll split it. Sounds good. And now we have our next prop coming up. Now, this is what I lead into this during our rehearsal show here. I didn't want to reveal it, though.
Did the full rehearsal already.
Full rehearsal. We could keep pushing these props, each week and double and double and double.
Yeah.
But we also know how that movie ends sometimes. I mean, they're not all going to hit.
Babel, the Tower of Babel.
There were my $20 million. I doubled, and then we looked for some good odds, and then I shoved on some futures. And I'm not trying to change it to a future. Now, here's something. If you're interested in,
I'm listening.
I think this is a fun investment for all of us. We can all have a good time. I, of course, do the college football pick show with Picks Dundee and Moneyline Mac.
Yep.
I know you guys, you do your TMZ show. We talk about the main games.
Surface level.
Where you poach Colby here.
Games that people watch.
Right,
that kind
games
of stuff.
that people watch. But me and you both have similar interest in a team, and I know that you've adopted this team. And that is the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And they are still currently 29-1 to win a national championship at Circus Sports. Their payroll, that roster, it's like the 1982 SMU team. There's no reason why they can't win the championship at 30-1. Let's shove that dime in there. That's $15K each, and we got to sweat for the rest of the college football season. They're making the playoffs. That's happening. They're just steamrolling teams. They got 35 points a game. They give up 10 a game, and you'll have an actual interest in college football. Why not? Who the hell's going to stop them?
The money behind the program.
Yes.
Comes from an oil man who also played at Texas Tech for late friend of the program, Mike Lee.
Oh my God!
And so
the stars have aligned. This is one of your greatest ideas, CJ.
Thank you.
And you've had a lot of great ideas.
Thank you.
On our college football show, I go, I'm kicking myself for not taking a future on Texas Tech after that Utah win. And they haven't done anything.
It's not
to
too
change.
late. That's what I mean.
Still
It's
30
not
to
too
1.
late. Yeah, it's
I'm
still
genuinely
30-1.
surprised.
And I think it's specifically because one, the conference they're in, two, the quarterback situation. I think that's probably the only thing.
The quarterback's talented
and name brand.
The coach is good.
The average person still has no idea. Like you look at the AP pool, that tells you everything you need to know about how much people are locked. The Big 12 is just not people's first. So yeah,
100%.
Anyway, that's let's do that.
Yeah,
I think we do that.
I think we do that, right?
Yes,
I mean, what a great ticket! Of course, you keep that in, and that goes in the safe. The ticket's safe here in the.
We'll transport it into the long storage.
Yes,
which we do have a special location. We won't. Don't worry, we won't tell anyone about it.
All right. Oh man, that was exciting.
I was scrambling to pull up the live number to see if it was.
I think it's
still there. I checked this week and it was 29-1 or something.
Yeah.
Let me look at the championship.
And nothing's happened.
Ryan, while you're doing that, I'm going to remind everyone, head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. And that's right. Score 100% bet back bonus up to $500. Terms and conditions do apply on that rollover or on the bet back bonus. And of course it's crypto, Bitcoin's doing really well right now. Take a little off the Bitcoin pile, put it over on mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, so they know we sent you, put it to work there. Get in, hit that SGP button. The prop builder over at MyBookie is really a ton of fun. You can really get lost over there, as someone who often does get lost over there. A lot of great action. Love MyBookie and super fast payouts. I can vouch. 2 hours ago, I requested a payout from my mybookie.ag account. It's already in there, thanks to their just lightning fast settlement. I mean, to get your Bitcoin in your wallet in I think I requested it like 3 hours ago. Very, very good there. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Use that promo code SGPN. Spend $5, get $50 in Novig action there. Promo code SGPN. You get the California, Texas, Florida, so many locations, and you get the great prices here because it's essentially an exchange. You're not going up against the house. You're going up against your fellow no vig users, aka that's how they can offer essentially no vig. Great opportunity, and they do have boosts. A lot of these exchanges don't have boosts. I mean, the Eagles -7.5 +102. A lot of people, if they're setting -7.5, it's -110, -115 on the Eagles tonight. And they also have props too. Touchdown scores, first TDs. They got it all. Get started today. Download the Novig app and use the promo code SGPN.
Went down a little bit of a deep dive, and yeah, these exchanges essentially, in order to work, they need action. In order to get action, they incentivize people to come in early, especially. And so, I think early adopters of exchanges who understand what they're doing will be able to scrape some extra EV in there. I have a slight counter offer to you. One, I looked up the price for Texas Tech.
Okay.
They are +155 to go undefeated. They are -125 to win the Big 12. They are 25 to 1 to win the national championship. I think we make that a flat 1,000 and we try to work our magic with the remainder.
Oh, okay.
And we start all over again.
So 1,000 even.
Yeah. So 1,000 to win 25K
to
on
win
the future.
25K.
And then we take what we have left over and we start building up a pile.
Clean numbers. Okay. Diversify our portfolio.
We'll wait till I'm sitting at Saginaw's.
Sure.
In the same mind space to find another banger
Love
like
it.
that Jordan Love.
Tune in live to Saginaw's or the Beeson show for tomorrow night.
True or false? We do not. I mean, we have meet and greets at Saginaw's sometimes. So if you're at the Circa and you want to find, if it's lunchtime on a Friday,
the ever changing menu.
New schedule. We're more of a late breakfast crowd now.
Yeah, we're flying out there earlier. But honestly, anytime you're out on the out at Circa on a Friday, we're going to be out there doing the Beeson show 7 to 10 o'clock local time there. Anytime after 10, we'll be floating around NFL slot machine, the craps table, Legacy Club. There's like a 95% chance we're in one of those three areas or getting food
now
after
that
the
I've
show.
converted Sean to a full-blown craps player.
I love craps. Don't even
a year
looking
ago,
back, all these wasted hours on blackjack.
A year ago, it would have been 100% to blackjack.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Great call on
All right.
craps. We got a system and everything.
Yeah. Follow the Sherpa Kramer. Whatever his flavors betting, put chips behind. No, that's what I do.
Feel
That's
like
what I do.
I'm not totally. There's a couple times where I'm like, wait, what here?
Yeah.
But I even caught Kramer a couple times where I'm like, oh, Kramer, we already have 3 numbers. So
yeah,
I feel like
that's good.
I feel like I'm learning.
Wax on, wax off.
Yes.
I will say that's another thing. That's the firm handshake, but also if you want me to explain craps to you,
personal craps lessons.
I'll convert everything to sports odds talk. So instead of saying 3 to 2, I'll say +150.
Oh, beautiful.
Full service operation here. All right. We're going to keep running out the same system. Speaking of systems, that's been working for me all season. Taking the under when a running back's going against the Cleveland Browns. Jaylen Warren, they popped his number up to 45.5. He's coming back off an injury. I think Kenny Gainwell has definitely earned a lot more of the traditional running back carries. And it's the Cleveland Browns. 45.5 is the number here. They've been impossible to run against.
Jaylen Warren's coming back from injury too.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit because I truly think Kenny Gainwell showed me enough to where I would be giving him a lot more of the actual carries. If you look at the only person to go over this number was Jahmyr Gibbs. He did it on only 15 carries because he broke a couple long ones. And Detroit is in another world when it comes to run blocking compared to the Steelers. So Jaylen Warren under 45.5 rush yards. We're running back to that one.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Johnson maybe gets a couple more carries. A rookie coming out of the bye week. Maybe Tomlin got his head on straight there. So there's a lot of ways.
Or Gainwell. Gainwell's been playing great for him. Gainwell's been in the rotation.
There's just so many ways this doesn't get home for Jaylen Warren. I mean,
Gainwell got more traditional running back opportunities in the red zone last week than Jaylen Warren had in any 2-week stretch that he. So I just think it's Arthur Smith. He compared him to Tyler Algier, Kenny Gainwell. That means that's short for "I love you" in Arthur Smith speak.
That's his greatest.
Now Jaylen Warren,
greatest compliment in his language.
Jaylen Warren in the receiving game, that might be a different story, but
yeah, he's been good there. CJ, what do you got for the folks?
I'll go with an under since I never go unders, but since I have one on here and Kramer tossed one out there,
we love the unders.
Swing through in here.
I've been bad on my unders.
It's very rare that you get to get a revenge spot on a quarterback that beat you with a completely different team. The Green Bay Packers, of course, lost to Joe Flacco's Browns a couple weeks ago. that their only loss. They do have a tie. They're off a bye. They're stewing. And here we go. The Bengals come to town. Next thing you know, Joe Flacco's on a Southwest flight on Thursday. He's got the playbook in his car on Friday, and he's starting on Sunday. This is an insane situation that's going on here with Flacco starting for the Bengals. He's like, yeah, well, I beat him. They're basically saying you beat him before, right? You can go out there. Sure.
You got this.
Did you bring the Browns defense with you?
Miles
no.
Garrett coming with you?
Yeah, no. Our defense is much worse. Okay, how about your offensive line? Because it wasn't that great in Cleveland. Yeah, no, we're way worse than them too. You're not going to have any chance. We have good receivers though. That's fine. How do I get them the ball? You won't. It's just not going to happen. If he does get any kind of productivity, it'll be from flags or interference calls. Anything, just lob it up to Chase and Higgins. Passing yards is not going to happen. 210.5 is his passing yards. I think it's pretty high for a man who's like, listen, Flacco might have brought his own playbook. He might be just like, Cincinnati, keep yours. I got plenty here. Yeah, I'm 45.
I come with my own playbook.
Right, I got my own Flacco playbook I toss out there. But I don't think this experiment. Listen, maybe down the road. But this Packers defense, and I think they're the Steelers next week. They're not the ones you want to start off with throwing a Flacco to the fire. As much as I love Joe Flacco, this Bengals team,
Delaware zone.
This Bengals team is a mess. So, under 210.5 for Flacco.
I will stay in that game. I will stay on the Bengals side of the offense, and I'll take it over here, CJ, in the passing game. But this is also, in my mind, kind of a similar idea. I think Chase Brown over 20.5 receiving yards. To me, this is just check down city. They have to draw up some screens for Joe Flacco because he's going to get murdered. And
what do you like better, receptions or yards? I'm also on this.
Okay.
But I could be talked into either.
I'm going yards because I could.
Let me just give you some numbers.
Sure.
Joe Flacco, when throwing to the running back this season so far, week 1, 9 completions on 9 attempts. Week 2, 10 completions on 11 attempts. Week 3 versus the Packers, only 5 completions on 6 attempts. Week 4, 5 completions on 7 attempts. Only one of those weeks against the Packers did he go under the yards. It's 3.5 receptions.
Yeah, I'll
to be different. I'll take the reception.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things. I think both are good. I do think in a game script where maybe they are getting blown out, just a dump off to Chase Brown, then he breaks off and he finishes with 3 for 25. I could see that more than I could see. Well, maybe there's a 4 for 18 if the Packers are tackling well, but I think both are good. I'll stick with the yards, but Kramer, you're on the over 3.5 catches for Chase.
Yeah. Once I saw that breakdown of Flacco, I guess it's odd that
he wants to survive.
It's just odd that the Packers were the one game where the running backs got limited a little bit. And yeah, so I'm kind of with you. I don't know what else they're gonna do other than I looked for that interception prop and it's not playable.
CJ, what's a prop you like?
All right, I'll stick with that game as well. Oh no, yes, I will stick with that game on the other side of the ball there. Packers wide receiver is always tough to figure out here, but Cincinnati is the worst defense in the league against, cue up the soundbite, slot receiver here.
Slot. How's the slot?
And D'Artagnan Wicks, 51% of his routes are in the slot in line of position. He had more routes and snap counts than Golden last week, and slightly, not a lot. But point is, you could probably throw a wax on Dobbs, any of these guys, but Wicks' numbers are so low. 2.5 receptions is absolutely crazy against this Bengals defense. That gives up the third most receiving yards to receivers, 13 and 50, touchdowns 12, receptions 120, and the majority of it comes from the slot. So give me Wicks over 2.5 receptions.
I like CJ always understands the assignment and goes deep into that slot pool.
Everyone loves a good slot.
Works the slot well.
Free slots are the best. Tyler Warren, Ryan, is off to a great start. Danny Dimes loves him, and the Cardinals are bad against the tight end, second in the league for most receptions allowed to the tight end position. Tyler Warren, if his ladder, Underdog has his ladder. So depending on how spicy we want to go for the Underdog entry, I could be laddering him up there, but Tyler Warren over 4.5 receptions. He's clearly Danny Dimes' guy. and going to be a big part of the offense. So Tyler Warren over 4.5 receptions.
I'm going to be very curious to see the first team that realizes that the Colts just run a whole bunch of dig routes and I want to see a team that is mugging Tyler Warren and go and stop and trying
and his
to
tiny
stop.
hands.
Yeah, his tiny hands. It's the sticky gloves I think that's helping him, but. Yeah, so far my take on his catching ability is not looking great, but it's early.
Has he dropped the ball?
It's early. He does have one drop.
Okay, so you're off to all right. It's certainly probably a higher percentage.
You're anti-Warren? That's funny.
Oh no, I just short arms and small hands.
That's funny. Who hates the guy? He's just a long-haired Nordic beast who catches everything.
We're starting to work him out at quarterback. Steichen sees the writing.
He does randomly get the rushing TDs.
I was at that
played
game.
High school quarterback.
Yeah, I was at that game last year at the Coliseum when he had like.
Oh, that was.
It was like a Gale Sayers type game. Yeah, we had like 250 total yards. Like he caught one, he threw one, he kicked one in. Like, it was insane.
Bit overrated, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean,
Kramer, what's another prop?
All right, so if you take a look at again, maybe this one, just watch this one, but Chris Olave, you look at his numbers, you might think, oh wow, he's getting all the targets, 13, 10, 14, 6 versus the Bills, and then 11 again versus the Giants. But only once this season has he gotten over the yardage total we're seeing this week against the Patriots at 57.5. And in all likelihood, he's going to get a lot of Gonzalez on the outside. I think also if you're the Saints, you're going to run the ball at the Patriots and work your tight ends. They have not been very good over the middle of the field. So we're going with another under. Chris Olave, 57.5 receiving yards under versus the Patriots this weekend.
Yeah, it does seem like Shaheed's getting involved. Then you get Taysom Hill. You got Kendry Miller out of the backfield. It does feel like there's a bunch of other options. He is drawing a good amount of pass interferences, but he's just not doing a ton of stuff down the field. And I think the way that Kellen Moore has been working the offensive game plan, he's not going against the difficult stuff. He's taking the relatively easy stuff, and Spencer Rattler is what he is. I mean, 13 targets is going to turn into 7 catches, not 10 catches when Rattler's throwing you the ball. CJ, what do you got?
Same game, exactly what you said, but the opposite. Olave will be on Gonzalez, and I'm kicking myself for not giving this out on VSiN last week, but I didn't want to break our prop offering karma going on because I wanted to give out Rashid Shaheed against the Giants. And of course he hit his ladder in the first quarter with a 90-yard touchdown or whatever it was.
You mop.
I am a mop for that. Although RIP to Slayton for dropping a ball, then getting hurt immediately and destroying that ladder. But the Patriots do give up long plays. They are susceptible to that. So I'm just going to go with Rashid Shaheed. Longest reception, 19.5 yards on that, as he will not.
That's his move. He just runs down the field.
That's his move. I mean, he's a feast or famine kind of guy, and the Patriots do give up deep balls to the secondary outside wide receiver a lot. So, yeah, just over longest half reception, get it once and over with. This would have been in the bank 5 minutes into the game last week.
Yeah, nothing. Not going to argue with that at all. This one, I mean. The Browns Steelers game kind of interesting because it does feel like maybe the Browns can hang around enough. But I am still on the Steelers. Don't love it enough to lock it up. But the concern would be Quinshon Judkins, who is just he's just a beast. And with Dylan Gabriel in there, they're going to give him as many carries as this guy can handle. Also, there's maybe a chance he gets suspended. Maybe they're just trying to get him as much work as possible, but Quinshon Judkins over 78.5 rush yards.
Big number.
He's gone over this every game except the first game he played. And even that was 10 for 61. So these last 3 games where he's had a normal workload, all different situations against different defenses. Pittsburgh's not particularly great at stopping the run. I still think he's a massive day. It's a high number as Ryan instantly reacted. But I still think he smashes it. Quinshon Judkins over 78.5.
I mean, he's a sneaky guy. I don't know what his odds are for rookie of the year.
Yeah,
but there's certainly a path where if he doesn't get suspended and he plays every game, he's right now it would be him and Egbuka, I guess. Like who's the other Tyler Warren?
Yeah.
Yeah, Egbuka.
Sorry,
Egbuka.
Egbuka.
Yeah.
Boo.
I can't even say it.
Emeka Boo.
I'm not.
Emeka Egbuka.
Emeka Boo.
I'm not even capable of saying it that
He
bad.
mispronounces so many aspects of his name.
Emeka Egbuka.
It's just hard. It's hard not to.
That's great.
All right, and actually, while we're here, I'll just give out one more because it is our buddy.
Emeka Egbuka.
Over 72.5 receiving yards. Mike Evans still isn't going to play. He's officially been downgraded to out. And a Big Boo has had 349 yards in the past 3 games. You get Baker at home.
Elite.
I think the Heat might be make this 49ers team a little gassed. I mean, we even saw the Eagles defense kind of fall apart there in the second half. If they are down, I trust Baker to come back. A Big Boo is just a tough guard, especially this 49ers secondary. Yeah, they got up for that game Thursday night against the Rams, but the secondary is not getting any healthier. They still don't have a pass rush without Bosa. They have not been able to pressure the quarterback. Again, why I like Tampa in this spot, but a Big Boo over 72.5 receiving yards is a smash. Kramer, what's a prop you like?
Another prop that I like. You know what? Let's let's talk about the London game. I think Bo Nix, they're making his rushing prop very interesting every week. I understand you could pick it apart saying that he, in the games where they won by margin, he didn't necessarily run as much, but he still had 18 yards against the Titans.
Yeah.
In that first game, granted it came on 8 carries. They were almost trying to stop him from running the ball. And then, the game that stands out is last week against Philly. He only ran 3 times, ended up with 22 yards. Feels like the kind of performance we could see here against the Jets. And I'm still willing to bet on the Aaron Glenn. We've talked about this a little bit on the program. The Aaron Glenn's defense doesn't know how to stop mobile quarterbacks. If you throw out the games versus Tua and Aaron Rodgers, who we all know don't necessarily scramble a ton, Josh Allen went for 56. Baker Mayfield went for 44, and even Dak Prescott went for 28.
Really?
Against this team.
I didn't see. I was gonna. Yeah, that's
over 20.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I think you nailed. And the only concern is potentially game script, but Bo likes to run.
The London game aspect of it, I think it also, don't underestimate Sean Payton's need when he's on an island to like dial up some fun stuff. So I predict we see some sort of and it's going to be a big running game. So some sort of fake pitch, naked bootleg with Bo Nix scrambles down the sideline for 25 yards.
Perfect reason to wake up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday.
That's football.
CJ, what do you got? Give the good folks a prop they like.
Well, I'm not going to London. I'm getting the hell out of there. Let's take a look here. What I gave that out. All right. This is a fun game to watch, though. Is that Carolina Dallas game there? We got a revenge game of Rico Dowdle, of course, and who only went off for 200 yards last week here. Fresh legs. I like to. You can say you're either chasing those numbers or you're getting a hot hand. I like to say it's more of a hot hand. Strike while it's iron's hot. Plus, we're going against the Cowboys' rush defense, which is absolutely horrendous. 76.5 is a high number. I don't mind. They asked Rico Dowdle what the Cowboys can expect this week. He said Dallas better buckle up. Calls out the entire defense. So I don't
know if I like that.
That quote alone is going to make me play this a lot. I like Carolina to do a lot of damage against this Dallas defense and vice versa, but I think it'll be up and down fair. And Carolina did prove, even if game script has them down 3 touchdowns or whatever it was, 17-0, they're not afraid to run their way back into contention, especially if Rico Dowdle's doing one. Rico Dowdle's been good anyway, and it looks like Hubbard's a no-go again. So give me Rico over 76.5 rushing, revenge rushing, buckle up Cowboys.
I didn't fire on it. I like the rushing yards. I also think he could maybe get involved in the passing game. The Cowboys are the worst in the league in receiving yards allowed to the running back.
You don't need to say the last part of those words. Just stop with receiving yards in any category.
You're right. I guess it is bad for receivers, for all sorts of skill players. It is it's bad times. So yeah, I mean Dowdle looked like a guy just completely reinvigorated by playing the Dolphins, and the Cowboys defense is neck and neck with them. I see a Panthers fan in the chat, Ryan O'Flanagan, friend of the program.
Yes.
He said, I bet Quinshon Judkins to lead the league in yards the day before the news story came out. So bad timing on that, but it still has a shot. It still has a shot. Like he's in the top 10.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, the big dogs aren't necessarily. Jonathan Taylor's the only real big dog eating right now.
I almost called him Derrick Henry, not Derek Stevens, isn't doing much. Like some of the Barkley isn't doing much. Like some of the
I think both Derrick Henry and Barkley are on career lows for yards per attempt.
I mean, to your point, Kramer, Taylor is probably the only guy to worry about. Kyron, I feel like off the top of my head, is probably up there somewhere. I teased on the NFL Pick Show that I had a 10-1 prop I was going to give out.
Ooh.
I'm here to confess I'm a liar because it's actually 15-1.
What?
And it was courtesy of a tip from our buddy Ryan O'Flanagan, Panthers insider,
Keep pounding,
future host of the Meow Mix podcast. Now that they abandoned it, this is crazy. It's 15-1 anytime. Now this is over the green book, the blue book, and our buddies over at my bookie have this at the 8-1, 9-1 range. Green book had this at 15-1. For Mitchell Evans, anytime touchdown, Carolina Panthers. It's kind of a backup tight end, but I don't know. He's a rookie. He's gotten involved. He's had a touchdown now in back-to-back games. He has 2 red zone targets converted on both. Tommy Tremble only has 3 red zone targets. So he's out there for almost 40% of the snaps. You're going up against this Cowboys defense, and the Panthers like getting these tight ends involved. 15-1 is an insane price. So I like it at 8-1, 9-1. But if you have access to the green book, it was 15-1 earlier today when I found my way to getting some action.
Did you move the market? That's what everyone wants to know.
Ryan, I'm not one of these guys who takes credit for moving the market, unless we're talking Jalen Waddle,
I'll look
offensive player of the year. But why don't you give out another prop? I'll give people an updated
10-1. I'm seeing
really on the green book.
On the green book.
Wow. I also I'll stay tuned for my Degen parlay because it does involve. I created a 6-figure liability for the green book involving Mitchell Evans. So that's probably why they moved the price.
Some executive is sitting here. Who the fuck is Mitchell Evans? All right, I'll stay.
He's a rookie tight end that's getting involved. This is the perfect sweet spot.
I'll stay in this game also. I think you see on the thumbnail we have Tet McMillan, whose yardage total is 69, 70 yards in that range. I certainly think there's no problem taking the over. Worth noting, the shortest, longest catch he's had on the season, I believe, is 21 or 22 yards. They juiced that all the way up to 25.5. I think any of that stuff's fine, but I'm going to pull a CJ, and this is definitely someone you could consider putting in a ladder, but Jalen Coker is back. His number is 16.5. Forget about it. Forget about it. I mean, I'm not giving this out as an official ladder, but if you were, his 100-yard price is 25-1. His 50-yard price is plus 350. This is CJ's sweet spot. CJ, he's having a moment here. So
just the street value of that.
But 16
those ladder prices,
uncut ladders.
Jalen Coker over 16.5 receiving yards. We know how much this coaching staff likes him. More than they traded away Adam Thielen. They begrudgingly played the Clemson slot, who I'm blanking on his name, white guy, Renfro.
Yep.
They hate Xavier Legette.
Wow. They kind of like Xavier Legette.
He had a touchdown last week.
You got him in the end.
Yeah, but I think that's because Coker was out.
They want Coker to be the 2. 100%. They want
Kramer,
Coker to be the 2.
Do you know how many career games Jalen Coker, 100-yard games Jalen Coker has?
Well, I know he had one against the Cowboys.
Yes, he has one, and it came against the Cowboys.
Okay, yeah, that was.
You go.
Exactly.
No, I like it.
I love it.
I mean, I'm just
25-1 for him to have 100 yards.
As long as it doesn't take away from Mitchell Evans' TDs.
Here's the crazy thing: the ladder. It was gonna be my ladder, but I found a better ladder
than that. That's an amazing ladder.
CJ's just in awe.
I know.
It's totally fine if you want to.
I'm getting excited. That's for sure.
That's fine if you want to decent ladder it.
Rock hard for hot dogs, as there was said in the Steffi Small show the other day.
Great line.
I'll have to. Yeah, I don't quite understand that one.
It's a clip.
No,
so check out the clip over at Gambling Podcast, right? Look alive. CJ, what do you got?
I know you avoid yourself from the social media, but they do represent your company.
Unless you're talking about digital horses, Kramer has no interest.
Yeah, social media is out.
I'll piggyback off that, finish that game, and you know what? When Coker gets his 100 yards, who's going to be throwing the ball? Bryce Young. Over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
Plus 115, plus money to throw 2 touchdown passes against this Dallas secondary. I mean, this is how this whole thing started. People have career games against this damn Dallas secondary.
I feel like I'm just going to take everything that we all just said and put it together in a parlay real quick. See what happens.
Hey, let's head over to Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Of course, $5. Spend $5, you get $100 in bonus funds over on Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN, or you can win up to 5,000 extra money. Let's put together a little Sunday entry. Kramer, we'll let you start. What's jumping?
They don't have. My first thought was, let me pull up this Coker number. I'm not seeing a Jalen Coker number yet.
All right. While you're looking at that, I'll toss
bastards.
one out. Give me Justin Herbert higher rushing yards. Stay tuned. I got some more action on this, but Underdog has this at 14.5. That's lower than a couple of the other books out there.
With the offensive line, how do they not?
All right.
It's a combination of the Dolphins are now 4th in the league in rush yards allowed to the quarterback. He had 60 last game. They're going to need some design runs because they got Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal as their running backs. So, and they have issues with the offensive line. So I think they have design runs and scrambles. He easily gets over 14.5. So give me a higher 14.5 rushing yards. CJ, is there anything you like over on Underdog Fantasy for our entry here?
Well, I mean, you could go the opposite way with Bryce. Not the opposite way. The other option of Bryce Young, 221 passing yards, higher than that against Dallas.
Let's keep it. I mean, we all like.
I'm okay with that.
We all like the Panthers passing game,
right?
So yeah, give me a higher Bryce Young, 221.5. Kramer, do you want to close off this trifecta?
Let's put the icing on the cake. Let's go to. Yeah, do we want to higher or lower? Because it feels like we're both on the Chase Brown situation. We all, I think, well, I certainly like the angle. 21.5 receiving yards on Underdog or 3.5 receptions.
I mean, I like both. I'll happily take the receptions here for the
receptions.
For the team.
The Joe Flacco check down numbers are incredible. And if you include the tight end, it's like that they're gonna. I know everyone thinks he's going to be slinging the rock to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
But he won't have time.
I worry it's going to be not what people expect.
So Justin Herbert higher, 14.5 rushing yards. Bryce Young higher, 221.5 passing yards. Chase Brown higher, 3.5 receptions. $100 entry returns you $600. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by our good buddies over at Rhythm. The Rhythm is gonna betcha with props. CJ Sullivan coming up with that great tune, and a Rhythm coming up with a bunch of winners. They destroyed the Dylan Gabriel market, going 5-0 last week, and it's so fun to get in there, track your plays. You can win up to $1,000, college or pro, just for tracking some of your plays. And hey, you can either go with what Rhythm's offering, and again, actually a great tool to attack some of these Underdog fantasy projections is using some of these predictions by Rhythm. Rhythm off to a great start, college and pro. Promo code SGP25 get you 25% off, and looks like Rhythm is seeing eye to eye with what we were discussing. Ryan, Jalen Warren under 44.5 rushing yards. One of the smart signals over on Rhythm. So it looks like Kramer and Rhythm lockstep on the Jalen Warren under rushing yards. Head over there, build your own models, and use that promo code SGPN25.
Well, if I was Rhythm, I would have it train off of our program. So it's probably learning the systems.
I am a neural net processor, a learning computer. I'll just start out first ladder here because I tipped my hand here with the Underdog entry. Now Justin Herbert, the ladder starts. This is over on the blue book, and again highlights why the Underdog price is so good on the higher there, 14.5, because the 25 rushing yards over on is the base of this ladder. It's only plus 120. Still like it. 30 is 3-1 for Justin Herbert. 40 rushing yards plus 640. 50 rushing yards is where they're topping out for right now. That's 11-1. Love it. And he's coming off a 60-yard game. I don't see what has changed except they're playing a defense that's worse at guarding the rushing quarterback. So 50 plus is the top of the ladder, but I think he's a big day on the ground. Give me Justin Herbert. Herbie the love bug gets loose. Kramer,
quick update. I mean, I'm not gonna. This is crazy. I think that they I think they might have made a mistake on Jalen Coker. So while we're recording this, I take screenshots.
Yes.
Of things that I'm thinking about taking, especially if I'm going to need to wire them to a friend out of state. And Jalen Coker's number is now 29.5.
Really?
The top of the ladder hasn't changed yet, though. I think they just altered the over under. They haven't changed the 100.
What was it before that?
16.5.
Yeah, 16.
His longest reception has gone from 9.5 to 16.5.
No.
I think someone got in trouble.
Check Texas Tech real quick. Is that down to 8-1 now?
No. The circa's definitely not listening right now. Anyway, sorry. Continue. Or is it my turn?
It's yours.
It's your turn.
All right.
You want me to get yourself
you go ladder first.
Rattled.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was cross-referencing because I'm like, am I a fucking idiot? Did I just write down longest reception instead of yards? And I go, no, I didn't. This is crazy.
I have a similar ladder with you, Sean, not a quarterback rushing, but same game. I know you obviously the Chargers are down both their running backs, and they will have Kamani Vidal and Haskins going out. Now, this matchup couldn't be better, obviously. Their O-line is banged up. I get it. Miami is the worst defense against the rush by far.
Okay, we have the same ladder, potentially. We should have a group
conversation
about this. Well, which one do you like better?
This is amazing. I'm going with Vidal.
Oh, okay.
You like Haskins? Haskins 3 yards a carry. I know he played for Harbaugh.
Here's the reason why.
I think they both can get there.
The research. So what you're hearing the fantasy street say is Vidal has the higher ceiling because he's potentially going to be using the passing game more, kind of a little bit more explosion. If you go back and look last week, Haskins played every snap until it was maybe garbage time, and then Vidal came in.
Okay.
And that was so at the end I figured we might have this conversation on the show because both guys' ladders are absurd.
Yes.
Vidal to get at the top of the ladder for Vidal is 15-1 at 90 yards. Haskins is 15-1 at 100 yards.
Right. Vidal 110 yards, 45-1.
Oh, I didn't.
Why are we stopping at 90? We can play both.
Could we play both? Dowdle just went for 200.
The Miami Dolphins, Dowdle's won for 200. Miami Dolphins have allowed 870 yards on the ground to running backs.
Dowdle had 200.
You give out yours. I'll give out mine.
Maybe is a double ladder. Maybe they each get 100.
Dolphins allowed 871 rushing yards, which is 137 more than the second worst team in the league, which is the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. They averaged 5.58 attempt against them. Yeah, Rico, of course, ran for 206 against them last week. And Vidal can explode on it. He can do this in 8 carries. Like I changed style early on. I mean, I think both they can. So here the ladder is. And obviously it starts off at 30.5 just to get it out of the shed. I mean, come on.
Just to get it out of the shed.
Just to get it out of the shed, prop it up. Skip a few rungs. 60 yards is plus 320. 70 yards, 525. 80 yards is plus 825. 90 yards for Vidal is 14-1. 100-yard game, 100 crisp, clean game is 24-1. And like I said, if you want to go to the bell tower, take a look around. 110 yards, 45-1 against the worst rush defense in football.
So Vidal is at 30.5, like you mentioned. Haskins is at 33.5.
Yeah.
Just as a starting point, how do both guys not get over their numbers against this rush defense?
Yes.
Now, I guess the answer is that the Dolphins get up on them early and they don't have the opportunity to run the rock. I guess. Now, I would also point out for you that Vidal's touchdown price is much better. So if you're doing ladder stuff with Vidal, it might make sense to put his anytime in there. I think it's about 250 compared to Haskins at 150.
He scored last week, and it was from in the reds, like inside the 10, whatever. He looked good. He looked spry. It was like a goal line carry, and he sprung to the outside.
So again, my caution on that is purely
trash.
Haskins appeared to like the immediate replacement for Hampton. Played all the all the meaningful snaps until the very end of the game when Vidal came in, and he was immediately explosive.
Right.
So you could see that. But I'll roll out the Haskins ladder because again, 33.5 at the base level. You jump up to 50 where you're getting plus 220. You go to 70 where you're getting plus 580, and then we're gonna hit 90 12-1 and 115-1.
I mean, this is the double helix. We have to play both ladders.
I think now I'm gonna figure out the best way to.
It's an intertwined double helix.
That's the thing. Would Ryan? Do you think the same game parlay machines would give you the credit? Because obviously having 200-yard rushers on the same team, that should be obviously you should be getting more credit for that. I wonder if they would.
I'm gonna do 50 for each guy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. 70 yards each or 50 yards.
I'm gonna
each.
just see what it looks like.
Okay.
I don't. We're not getting like reverse correlation credit.
We should be for 100%.
Unfortunately, we're not.
You should, yeah, but sometimes
let's see what
it
the
works for you or against you.
So I can't. I'm on the blue book doesn't have 100, but I'm gonna take that back. We're getting some. So 100. If each guy gets 100 yards, it's 443-1.
Oh man,
that doesn't seem 404. All right,
when was the last time a team both had 100-yard rushing? I feel like the Ravens had.
And no, that's
right?
not both 100. That's Vidal only 90.
Oh,
so I mean, but it's 90. Actually, I should do both guys 90. What's that? What's that going to equal?
I believe the Ravens did that, didn't they recently?
Actually, both guys to get 90 is 284-1.
It's reasonable,
and then it's not 100.
Completely reasonable.
But then you're boxing out my Herbert rushing.
No, he's still going to get some yards.
I mean,
unrelated.
If there's any team that's going to have like 400 yards rushing against a team, it's going to be this Chargers.
And then you got Jalen Coker receiving yards you could sprinkle in there.
I mean, there could be 70 points scored in this game. I mean, there's plenty of time for yards.
Who's the bring back on the other side?
Little DFS chatter.
Little Darren Waller, I think they've been bad against the Titans.
All right, time for
I'm a degenerate.
The Degen play of the week. All right, I got a little
Kramer, dump truck or something.
Why don't you start?
Oh, that's CJ. Why don't you
CJ?
Start?
Yeah.
DJ?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I
absolutely.
feel like
100%.
I'm gonna be including this 90-90
yeah, I know.
parlay
This
in there.
is
Fine.
Back to the window
It's
for
fine.
that. It was great. I mean,
My goodness,
that really is incredible. I
it
love
almost doesn't seem correct.
it.
It just happened.
Is there a Coker type of mistake being made already?
Could be.
All right. We're gonna do a couple touchdown parlay. Nice and simple too. I got one nice one at 440-1, and then I heard some numbers being thrown around during rehearsal, so I had to tack in another one.
Sean flexing over
Yeah,
there.
I know, absolutely.
Sorry guys, I'm expecting a delivery. Brinks, coming in. Sprint, back it up.
Not the greatest number here, but Jake Tonges, tight end down there for San Francisco, who's at 18.8% of team target share the last 2 weeks.
That number goes way up in the red zone too.
Yeah, absolutely. 16 targets, 10 catches, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the last 2 weeks for Tonjes. Tampa Bay has given up 2 touchdowns to the tight ends in back-to-back weeks. A.J. Barner last week and Dallas Goedert the week before.
You have my attention.
Well, there are 2 touchdowns for Jake Tonges down there in Tampa Bay. Woo! It's a measly 21-1.
Okay,
but
it's a good start.
It's a good start there, and we'll parlay that with another man. Now, I did my slot work again last week. We tried to get ourselves a Tyler Lockett touchdown because he works the slot there. He had an outrageous price. He did get the touchdown according to your depending on your sports book. If it was graded defensive or whatever it was. Very controversial was out there, but Arizona is bad with the slot receiver, especially with touchdowns. They're the team that gave two touchdowns to Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
It's almost unbelievable that happened in 2025.
Right. So they'll be in Indianapolis. Now we have one of the best slot receivers in football in Alec Pierce there for Indianapolis. 2 touchdowns for Alec Pierce is 19-1. You parlay him with Tonjes, that's 440-1.
That's a great price.
It's a fantastic
All
price.
These prices seem so good.
And the prices are amazing there. That was my Degen parlay week. And just as a freebie, just to keep up with the Joneses here, the Greenses and the Kramers, because I know there were some outrageous numbers being tossed in there. Your favorite guy, Taysom Hill, is back.
Oh no.
Seems like Juwan Johnson is out. I mean, he is on the way out. And you were just saying how bad New England is with the tight ends. And we all know what a touchdown monster he is, Taysom Hill. His 2 touchdowns is 19-1. You toss him in there with Todges and Pierce, you're looking at a plus 8,399 which is I can't even put that in a dash formation. Is that 8,339-1?
That's a good that's a good number.
Yeah, it's a fine number.
It's a good
Beautiful,
number.
CJ. Beautiful. A little 2x6. All right, Ryan. You know, on the VSiN show, we have a segment where we show you our TDs. CJ is a huge fan. Showing off the TDs. Love a good pair of TDs, right? You got your A's, your B's, your C's, your D's. I just Googled double E's. Yeah. They're insane. What if I told you I got a double? Unhealthy. I got double E's right here.
You got a back problem parlay coming in.
They're gonna have to reduce them, which is, I believe, a crime. But double E's, and it starts with the double E himself, Evan Ingram, 2 TDs. The Jets just gave up 2 touchdowns to Jake Ferguson. Broncos like getting Evan Ingram involved. This is a smash spot for Bo Nix and the Jets. The Jets defense is horrible. So Evan Ingram 2 TDs. That's 35-1. Like that as its own. You made the case for Mitchell Evans. What if he gets in there?
Oh no, twice. Oh shit.
I mean, Mitchell Evans, for most people, that's a Degen play in and of its own right at 170-1. But what if you take Ingram and Evans to create a 2x4? Both these 2 guys, just 2 tight ends on a regular Sunday, each getting 2 touchdowns. The double E cup parlay. Show me the E's and D's, as in TDs. 4,950 plus 495,800.
That's severe.
Say that one more time.
Plus 495,800. I'm dialing international, Ryan. $20 to win $100K.
We got to start calling these like these put local bookies out of business.
Yeah.
Or you just don't.
Or you just don't.
That's a license plate number. Or whatever it is. That's what that is.
Oh, that might be if I hit that. That's going to be a license plate on my new new truck.
No, my license plate's personalized. What, that number? Yeah,
parlay
it's the odds.
That'd be pretty bad.
Oh, that would be a flex. I should have done that with the.
Or just switch your phone number to that.
Oh wow!
Just make it your email address. Just the number. All right. I started at a place, but I decided to get a little juicier. So 6 touchdowns.
Okay.
Parlayed together.
Anytime
touchdowns.
Okay.
We start in the morning. Justin Fields, who is somehow plus 225.
They're bad. What?
They forgot.
I'm looking on the green book. The blue book didn't have all the touchdown props, although they do have this game. Let's see if it's a similar price. My God, what are they doing?
How did they?
It's
forget?
260 on the blue book.
That's criminal.
So yeah, prices may vary, but Justin Fields and Bo Nix to score anytime touchdowns, paired with Taysom Hill. Great thinking, CJ. Baker Mayfield, who is a nice price against San Francisco, Sean. Patrick Mahomes on Sunday Night Football against the Lions, and inspired by Sean over there, Justin Herbert, who's over 3-1. So those 6 guys find the end zone on Sunday. Plus 270,764.
Come on.
2,707-1. How'd I do?
That's a scratch ticket there.
Let's go, baby. Great times, man. I'm fired up. We got a
Who did that? Did someone? I know Lawrence had 3 touchdowns on Monday night. Is that right?
2.
Oh,
well,
2. The third would have been the thing over. Oh, I see. And there was
the 2 was 80-1, and I saw a guy
got cashed out or something early.
No, but he was belly aching. Oh, this is the one thing that kept me from the 2 touchdown parlay. And I go, I said it to him like all-time reverse jinx. Nice work.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
getting it done.
Strong indeed. Hey, make sure you check out CJ Sullivan, Bottom Line Bombs podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching live on YouTube, which is we recommend because it's fun to see you guys in the chat.
Stay tuned. CJ is going to be going live here in about 30 minutes. The three generates, him, Hannibal Burris, Kevin Bozeman, bunch of fun comics, working some NFL picks.
Yes, quick edit. It airs tomorrow at noon. I don't go live.
Totally ignore that.
Hannibal doesn't like the live comments coming at him sometimes. He gets heat for some of the gigs he accepts, you know. So we like to filter that.
Yeah. Don't have a doorman.
Absolutely.
All right. CJ is taping a great episode, which you guys will be able to watch noon tomorrow.
And if you're subscribed, it comes out in the morning, right to the Spotify or iTunes.
Smash
How
it.
easy, right to your inbox.
Might bonus episode.
Great reason to subscribe. Always appreciate everyone. All your questions and comments, answer them over on Spotify while you're there. Toss us 5 stars. Really appreciate it. Let's go Birds. And we will be talking to you live from the VSiN studio in the beautiful Circa, Las Vegas tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific, talking more picks, props, TDs, paper ticket parlays, and bonus ladders. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second Money Green. He's Ryan.
If all goes well, we're going to put a couple local guys out of business.
Kramer, let it ride.